Hello, everyone. Welcome to my next Monday bAIgel. My today guest is Daniel Marcus. He is a professor of New York University, teaching sport law. He's a practicing attorney, founder of tech companies. I record this podcast to ask people to chat about AI. What do you think about it? Is it disruptive technology? Do you use it?
Disruptive. I think that's a word that gets used a lot. There has been a lot of talk about what it can do in terms of automating certain jobs away, about what it can do in terms of augmenting productivity. But I think all of that right now at this stage is talk. I think ChatGPT, people kind of lost their minds around, okay, this can do so many amazing things. But then we're realizing now, specifically in the legal field, if you've been paying attention to the news, that there are serious glaring problems with it in terms of it being still a nascent technology and the issues specifically with hallucinations, right? We saw in New York, there might be an attorney that gets disbarred because he decided to write his entire brief using AI, not realizing that the cases that were cited were totally fictitious cases. So I think it has potential, but we have all of these. We go through these cycles all the time where there's a new technology that's introduced and people think it's going to change the way we do things. And I agree to a certain extent, but I don't think we've seen that yet. So the talks of AI being able to replace creative jobs, like I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think AI will ever replace the human imagination. So it's the same is true with law. I don't think that it will replace lawyers. It might augment their capacities and their abilities.
And do you see any field where AI replaces people? Because you said that you don't think it will replace the whole branches or the whole.
Well, I think it's already replaced certain jobs like customer service, right? How often do you actually get to a person on the first try when it comes to customer service? Like Uber and Lyft and any ride sharing app, when you've been charged like a cancellation fee, they just have a default decision tree that says, okay, well, here are the facts. We're going to either give you a refund or we're not going to give you a refund. So it's always a first level of triage for customer service. So I think that's
In law, do you see any fields like, I don't know, document generation, summaries?
it could theoretically become most or half of a paralegal, I would think, right? In terms of being able to do research and document generation, etc. I wish it could do that. I wish that there were tools out there that had the capabilities to do what this attorney that in New York is about to get sanctioned was trying to do, which is if I don't want it to write my brief for me, but if it could streamline my research and I can give it even somewhat specific prompt around like the fact pattern, or if I could give it a fact pattern and it could pick out the issues and do the research for me, that would be great. So I don't think it's about automating away jobs entirely. I think just the nature of jobs will change. I think that's more realistic than entire jobs going away, at least in this field. I think at the end of the day, what makes us people is that level of humanity and human touch that I don't think you'll ever be able to automate away, program away.
And what about journalism? You write for the Kevin Durant platform. Aren't you afraid that in a year there is a bot writing instead of you?
No, maybe I'm just overly confident, but I don't think there's a bot that can write as well as me in my style with my ideas and the way that I express myself. You can have pretty close, but the watered down version of me. And I think you could have, I'm sure if you were to ask ChatGPT right now to write an Aaron Sorkin style screenplay about this topic or that topic or just about a general plot, you'll get something that feels like Aaron Sorkin and you will be impressed by that, but that doesn't make it good. So human subjectivity and creativity, I don't think it's something that you can replicate. I think you can replicate certain like stylistic pieces of how certain artists or creative people think and how they express themselves, but you won't be able to replace them writ large. And even if you do replace them writ large, try to, you're going to run into a whole host of legal issues. I do think journalism is one of those ethically tricky sort of fields where if you have AI replacing journalists or writers, and you have AI that is consuming the best and in a lot of cases the worst of humanity and what's on the internet. It will have issues with bias, it will have issues with factual accuracy, it will have issues with framing, and I just don't see how practically and ethically it can replace journalists writ large. If you want AI to put together listicles of like the top 10 point guards of all time in the NBA, sure, like there's a million of those and there's no right answer, and those are just clickbait. But for anything that's actually got substance, I have my doubts.
Okay. Thank you very much for this fantastic discussion, and see you guys next week for next Monday bAIgel.
All right. Thank you very much.